Go on. Go on. Yep. 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 No, it's going to do it. Well, we can. This is going to be the confirmation. Now let's go to YouTube and see, did it connect? Go to the channel. Go to live. Shit, you can do it. Oh, I thought I saw it. There. Go on. There it is. There it is. Go on. There it is. Wow. There it is. Done. Wow. Done. Fabulous. I did it. Okay, so now let's go to landscape. So we get the full view on YouTube. There we are. Outstanding. I am so proud of myself right now in terms of what I've just done. I will explain in a moment to all of you, but it looks like we're going to. Now, the next thing is I need to connect the screen. Okay, so I've done a complete creative workaround that I think is pretty damn brilliant today. Now we need this. And what do we need it for? Yeah, so we've got juice in the battery. So we've got juice in both batteries. But now we have to get up onto the screen, and there will also be the notes. But right now we've established something really important, which is we're getting the recording on YouTube. This will go here. No, that's the wrong one. No, there's three things, and these two aren't working. But this one's working. Just a second. No. Oh, don't tell me they've changed. Okay. They've added. Okay. So, okay. Great. So let's go to distance learning now. Almost there. I've got it on YouTube. I've got the conference. I've got everything connected. And what we need to do now is establish this. Let's see if that is going to pop up there. And it should. Great. Great. So we're there. We're there. And I need to do that. But what I'll do is for now, I'm going to just take it step by step. This is a very critical thing right there. That is the YouTube live stream right now. No, 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 no. Watch it. Pointer. Attaboy. Attaboy. Now, oh no, I don't. I generally don't need that. What I need is the back end. So I'm done. I'm done there. Good. Now I'm going to shrink that. Good. So that way I can. Oh, okay. This is such a workaround, but it's actually working. So there we go. Okay, there we go. It's a little wonky, but we're just almost there. Now, I want to put up the, right, that would be uh, the, that's on, what one is that? Right, okay, okay. So then what happened to Toria? Oh, Toria is, of course, only on my phone. That's why. So then I can go to the PowerPoint. Do I have it there? Let's see. Do I have it there? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's going to work. Excellent. So then I can do this. Good. Good. So that's going to enable me to do the presentation. We have our Cosmos in there. We don't need all of that right now. We just need to see that, and we know the connection is good. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I've got a connection there. I can see it here. So we're just about set. In terms of here, yeah, I'll do that, but that's connected. Let's see how we get over here. Okay, so we're going to export. Will it allow me to screen share? We shall see. We never know in this room what works and what doesn't, but we are very creative about this. Nice, nice, nice. Now, what would I like to do? Oh, finally. Yeah, yeah. Okay, finally, to get the big board set up, uh, Control Alt Delete. Uh, that's not uh, okay. So that's not going to happen today. That's not going to happen. You don't want to function, do you, Tech? No, you don't. Okay, so forget that. Forget that. To hell with that. That will not work. But this, I'll just do this, and then we're good enough. Wow, what a workaround. I will explain in a moment, everybody, but could you just do me a favor and close the doors, please? And could all of you please go ahead and put your name here for on board today? Okay, here we go. On board, get your names so we know who's on board. And I have that. Let me get my notes. For all of you online right now, uh, I will not be able to show you on the big board unless I did one other thing that I could try that, but it's just not going to happen. So I think I'm going to stop here and I am able to then give a little talk. Good, good. Okay, so we are locking in what we have this morning, and it's working. And let me just see if the audio on my phone is sufficiently working so that the students could jump onto their microphones and that way. All right, I need to do an audio check with a student. So somebody online right now, here's how I make sure students are listening. Whoever responds on their microphone right now and tests with me is going to get 5 out of 5. So whoever's voice I hear first,
I hear you.
there we go. That's how we get. Who is that?
Kensia.
Kensia. Excellent, Kensia. Way to go. Okay, Kenzie, stay on your microphone right now. You have your 5 out of 5, but we need to just talk a little bit more and make sure that everything is good. Kensia, I just want to continue with our audio check. Just tell me how are things going today? Where are you right now? And what's your plan for today? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm at home. So I just come from work and then come back to get the course. And I
Okay.
after that I have course at 3 to 5 and another
Yes.
one at 5 to 7.
Great. Thank you, Kensia. Okay, Kensia, just stay with us for a moment on your microphone, and you are definitely earning your 5 out of 5 for participation today. And I can see clearly how it's looking on YouTube as well. It's going to have to suffice uh, for that. Okay, everybody, welcome to Global Leader for our fifth class of this semester. Thank you for your patience this morning as you have witnessed me doing a lot of stick handling to get us connected. And I've done it. And I don't need to go into all of the details in terms of what I've done, but I'd just like you to be aware that as you watch the class online and as we interact here and participate together, that you've seen me as a bit of a guinea pig, if you will, for live problem solving as a global leader. This is what we have to do. This is what I have to do week in, week out, in trying to really push the envelope with what a classroom can be in the post pandemic world. And essentially it means that the technology, the tech, even as sophisticated as it is in this room, is never working properly. That's not my fault. It's the situation at the college, essentially. So I can only do so much, but when I walk in, I can expect that I will have to do something. And today was a major workaround. And so you will see on the recording, it may not look perfect, but it's pretty good right now. And I've got things up and running, and that's all that matters. And so I just want to remind you to be prepared in this world of complicated technology. It's very complex, in which we're so dependent on tech today for making sure our day goes well, that you will be ready for the unexpected in tech, and that try and go with it, solve the problem, but don't let it drag you down. Okay. And that's really something that you may find as you go forwards in global leadership, as well, is this idea of how can you continue to lead and do well when the tech that you're using is not working the way you want. You just have to work around it, find a way. Always be prepared, always to be creative. I cannot think of many other qualities for global leadership today among the many we've been exploring this semester. And one critical one is creativity. You have to be ready for the unexpected. And by way of just explaining that, and then we're going to get into today's class where we're going to vote on global leaders and choose global leaders, just in terms of this idea of the unexpected, of dealing with things that you thought you had planned for but haven't worked out. Just the other night, I was watching some of the Olympics with my wife. How many of you have been watching any of the Winter Olympics? Great. Okay. So Kendra, is it Kendra? Yeah, because there's also Kensia. Okay. Kendra, what's your name again? Melanie. Hi, Melanie, Kendra, Melanie, and Lindsay. Kendra, Melanie, and Lindsay have seen some of the Olympics. Kensia, have you watched any of the Winter Olympics?
Yeah,
You have? Oh, great. And Kensia, what have you been watching?
I was watching the like which one? Um,
Let's see if I can get it.
skier when the van fall down. I saw her and I forget the name.
Oh, the American skier,
Yeah,
Lindsey Vaughn.
yeah,
Ooh, was it a really bad fall?
yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you can actually be heard, I think, more or less on the microphone here with everybody. But just to repeat, she saw the big crash, the American skier, Lindsey Vaughn. And well, I'd like to give you an example of something else that speaks to the unexpected and how we have to still get out there and do our best in spite of things not going the way we thought. I think Lindsey Vaughn is probably a pretty good example of that. She had an injury before the Olympics or just during a practice. She chose to go and compete even with this injury, and she took a risk. And in the end, she lost the gamble. She crashed even worse than the other and broke her leg, had to be airlifted, but she has demonstrated tremendous grit. And here's another example of the unexpected and how we deal with the unexpected. The other night, I was watching an interview with a young figure skater, a male figure skater, and he too is American. I wish I had another example of a Canadian or a European, but for the moment, he too is an American. And he was interviewed and he talked about how he had to be absolutely ready for the unexpected. And he opened his jacket and he showed that written on the inside of his jacket was, you know, always be ready for the unexpected. And he said his father had told him that. Are any of you familiar with this interview? Do you know what's coming next? Listen to this. So, as we were watching this interview, my wife and I thought this is quite an emotional interview. This person seems very genuine, and he seems to be talking about something very meaningful about his father and his family. And then the interviewer reminded us that a year ago, there was a plane crash in the United States. Something like 64 people were killed. Both of his parents were killed. His coaches were killed in this plane crash. And here was this young teenager, early 20s, I'm not sure, but very young, talking about how he had to be ready for the unexpected. Can you imagine that in your life? One day losing your parents and others, what do you do? And he said first, well, he learned a lot from his father and he had written this down, but then he said some things that were really moving. He said, you can always find a way. If you can't find a way, it's on you. There is always a way to get through the toughest, most difficult thing you can imagine. And here was this skater competing at the Olympics, jumping and turning and moving beautifully around the ice. And look at what he went through. I think we would understand if a year ago, it was just a year ago, he might have said he can't quite focus on his skating and the Olympics now that he's had this terrible tragedy. And he will have to take time for this. And I'm sure he did, but somehow, maybe he even found in his practicing and his preparation for the Olympics and the dream that he wanted to sustain, that helped him to get him through. So I'd like you to just take a moment before we get into today's class and pick global leaders that we think are really representative of the kind of values and vision and determination and perseverance that we believe is so important, just to reflect on this idea of this sheer perseverance, the sheer perseverance. Now, before I continue, just to make sure everything's working properly, I've put the microphone and the camera a little bit further. Kensia, can you still hear me nice and clearly?
Yes.
Yes? Great. Okay. Sounds like a kind of a podcast almost, like clear, not like sort of distant, like I'm somewhere. I sound close. Yes? Yes, Kensia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, so we're going to leave it like this. Before I continue, I just want to make sure that the students here just heard what I said. So I'm not going to ask any of the students here, Melanie, uh, Kendra, and is it Rachel? Nancy, Lindsay, sorry, Lindsay, photo, right? Lindsay, okay, Lindsay. I'm not going to ask any here because I could see their eyes were listening and watching. However, I'm going to ask one of the students back here who I think aren't really in the class right now. You are. Okay, that's good. Did you just hear what I just said? You feel like you did? Okay, I don't want to put you too much on the spot. Back at the back of the room, did you just hear what I just said? Or were you in cyber world, space, land, virtual world? Do you know what I just said? You don't have to. Okay, okay. So what did I just say? Okay, okay. Just want to remind you of how, in order to stay focused and in order to get through things that are really, really difficult, you have to be bullseye concentrating on the thing that matters. And you have to sustain that concentration. And I would just put to you that if you're in a class for global leadership and you cannot somehow control the compulsion to go online and be somewhere else, you have a trouble with concentration. And maybe you want to come talk to me. I may be wrong. Okay. I may be wrong, but I need to make a point. I need to make a point. You are going to be doing an assignment that's due on Thursday, February the 19th. It's due next week. It's worth 15%. It's your first assignment in addition to the discussion board. And you're going to have to pick three qualities that you feel best represent global leadership based on what we've been covering in the class. And so it's really important that you listen today and that you follow along the best you can. And if you find yourself distracted and wanting to be online, it's okay, but just be mindful. Please be mindful of the fact of how easy it is for our devices, our tech, to distract us and take away from the moment of being with people. Right now, we're with people. Yes. That's how advanced technology is. That's how advanced technology is. What do you mean? Like you just explained right now, we're really easily getting distracted from it. Yes. It's messing with our brains. It's got to the point where it's just messing with our brains. Well, it can and it can't. Okay. This is, a continuing dialogue we're having this semester underneath this whole course of artificial intelligence technology and how you're going to be able to adapt to this powerful technology. But there is research today that's quite fascinating that says that the tech you're using constantly distracted is rewiring our brains. There's no proof yet. However, I do think that you've probably seen a small demonstration of it today with me trying to deal with a complicated technological setup here. And I'm divided. I'm trying to deal with the tech. I'm trying to get everybody ready here. But in the end, I got it working the best I could. But the critical thing is not the tech, it's you here interacting with you in person and you online as well. So please remember, a critical quality of global leadership is perseverance, concentration, and the ability to get through anything, any problem, any situation. You can be creative. Great. Okay. So I'm just going to stop for a second to make sure everything is working properly because I want to uh, make sure you have all the critical content that you need. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they'd like to bring to the class's attention? If you have a question online in the Cosmos and you would like to get your participation marks fairly easily today, then just jump on your microphone and ask your question live with your microphone, and you will get your 5 out of 5. Okay, so Kensia, she already has it. Let's just see who else is listening and is prepared. Is there anybody online right now in the Cosmos who would like their participation marks? Okay, excuse me, I'm still coughing a little bit. All right. Well, there's so much that I want to talk about today in terms of the vote that you're going to do, in terms of picking our global leaders. But there is something I would like to at least get out of the way right now. Every week at the beginning of the class, I always pick a scribe, somebody who's going to make notes over there and that we can make sure they are made available for students. So I'm going to add something to the mix today in terms of the scribe. I'm going to call today the crew. It's not just the scribe, there's a crew in the class because I need one other student to use their camera on their phone to be a camera person in the class as well to capture the class because I don't have my camera set up here. So first, whoever volunteers for the scribe gets their 5 out of 5 and they'll have to take notes, okay? Is there anybody here in video production? Anybody here in journalism, media, communication?
Hello?
Ooh,
Oh, it's working
who's
now. Oh, perfect.
who's that? Who's that?
Nathan.
Nathan.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Nathan,
was
what?
fighting to get this mic on.
That's way to go.
Yeah.
So, Nathan, I can now expect that in terms of participation online, we have Kensia, we have Nathan. They're getting their 5 out of 5, and you will be available on your microphone today, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's
Way to
working
go.
now.
Okay. Way to go. Okay. So Nathan, now it's starting to come alive, even with sort of rudimentary tech. So in person, does anybody here like to use their camera, make videos, TikTok, anything else where they will use their camera? You should be able to use your camera well, but okay, then we'll forget about that. At least describe. Was it last 2 weeks ago that we had Kendra doing the notes? Oh, that's right. You have the card. Okay. Okay. Who has done the notes before? Did you? What's your name again? Zane? Zelaine. Zelaine. Okay. Zelaine, you've done the notes, but could we have you do the notes again for the 5 out of 5? Okay. So you've got the pen over there. Great. Just make a new card and call Notes by Zelaine. Notes by Zelaine. Oh, oh, Delane. Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dilane or DY? DY. Okay. So Delane is going to do notes. Just make another card, put notes by Delane. Excellent. Okay, so let's get putting some important information on the notes here. And we know we have Kensia and we know we have Nathan online as well, and the others can be going in the live chat. Unfortunately, I can't get into the live chat so easily on my phone right now, so I'll check later with that, but we'll stay with at least the audio. Great. Okay, the first thing Delane needs to write is we need to make sure that a critical date goes in there. When did I say your first assignment is due? Kendra, February 19th. Okay, so Thursday, February the 19th. Delane, could you write down that, please? That's next Thursday. Next Thursday, 11:59 p.m. in the Dropbox. First assignment. Everything has been posted online for you already, but we'll make sure it gets into the notes and you're clear. 725 to 750 words. It's essentially a longer discussion post. The discussion posts are a regular way for you to be writing and reflecting, but it's really in aid of getting you ready for the big assignments. All your big assignments this semester are going to be longer, more detailed reflections, some with research. Okay. So the first assignment, 725 to 750 words, due next Thursday. And that will be the 3 critical qualities of global leadership that you believe are critical of all that we've been covering in the class. I'd like to spend just a few moments on this assignment to tell you what not to do. So please listen. Some students already have submitted their first assignment, and that's great. There is no bonus for this assignment for early submission. Okay, so that has not been given. It will be for the final assignment. Here's what you shouldn't do. Students are already doing this. 2 things. Make sure you write this down, okay? Number 1, I have noticed with some students in all of my classes that when they hand in something really fast, they didn't write it. ChatGPT wrote it. And you know how I can tell or makes me suspicious? is 10 or 2 weeks even before the assignment is due, in comes an assignment, and there's no reference to anything we covered in the class. There's no example. It's a almost encyclopedic, flawlessly written, perfectly punctuated chat GPT deliver the nice pizza to Lon from the pizza shop, and you never made the pizza. You never put anything on it. What I usually do with that student is I check to see if I'm right, if that student did use chat GPT. Please do not hand in a assignment to this class in which you make no reference to the examples we've covered in the class. What's the point of me even teaching you if you're doing that? Okay? I'm not sure that's being done by some of these students, but that's definitely there. The second thing that does happen is it's really badly written, meaning the student seems to have just sat down and just sort of talked for 5 minutes and never bothered to rewrite it, never bothered to proofread it. And usually what I will tell that student is, I'm going to get you to rewrite this and you need to go work with a tutor. So please look at the marking scheme that's given with the assignment, and you will see it's out of 10, and 9 out of 10, 7 out of 8, and in every category, there's integration of course material, excellent integration of course material, some integration of course material, no integration, then you get lower and lower in the mark. So integration of course material is critical. And so is writing, mechanics. If you know already, as you hear me, that you're going to be doing one or two of those things already, you know that. You're going to use ChatGPT and you're going to hand in something that's badly written. Please email me and let me know you need help. You have time. There is, what, today is the 11th? You have 8 days. Okay? So the critical thing I'm noticing is students, and it seems to be the asynchronous students mostly, are handing things in that don't have anything to do really with this class. I scratched my head. Okay, so in terms of the rewiring of the human brain that some say is happening with artificial intelligence, the prevalence, the ease with which we can so nicely cheat now has never been easier, ever. You just hit a button, hand in something that's written by a machine, and hope your professor doesn't notice. In the end, the only one that is really being affected by this is you. You are becoming a slave of technology, and you will just get more and more stupid as life goes on. And you'll lose your critical thinking. You will lose your ability to think on your own, and it will always be let the machine help me out in the end. Leaders don't do that. Leaders are the ones who create the machines, who write the algorithms. That's what you want to be. You don't want to be a follower. You don't want to be a slave to anybody. That's why you're in this class. Okay? Making sense? Great. Okay. So that's the first assignment coming next week. I'm always available if you want to talk to me. Yes.
What about avoiding delays?
What's that?
What about avoiding delays?
In terms of an extension, if you might not be able to make the deadline?
Yeah.
Well, first, it's a great question, okay? If you sense already that that might happen because you have other responsibilities, send me an email and let me know. And every student is allowed one extension for the semester on a discussion post or an assignment. And so you just need to ask me in advance, and I will give you that extension. If you find this is a regular thing and you need more than one extension, then if you let me know, I will help you. One of the critical qualities of global leadership that we're going to see today, in terms of an example I'm going to give you, it's called responsibility. Can you write that down, Delane? And I know many of you have so many other priorities, and this class may not be top of mind for you. Maybe this class might be a way to help you to think more effectively, more deeply, and plan your time more. So this class should be a priority for you. And I'm going to just ask one question. I'm going to ask Elaine to write this down in nice, big letters. She can even fill the entire card with this. It's a critical question about global leadership when it comes to responsibility. I may have touched on this before, but I need to drive this home. Do you care? Do you care? You care because you asked a good question 8 days before the assignment is due. You care and you want to make sure that you get it in on time. And that to me is an excellent question. Okay? If you ever want the beating heart of leadership, if you want to know what is going to be driving the leaders that you choose and the ones that I'm going to tell you about shortly, every single one of them cares more than anybody else about what they're doing. And so, really, what you have to ask yourself when you're delivering an assignment, when you're thinking of starting your own project, when you're reflecting on global leadership and the people who matter, who make decisions in this world, in your community, do you care as much as they do? If you care, I guarantee you, you will start to lead. If you care, I guarantee you that when you have trouble and you run into problems and you're facing things that you feel you cannot do, you can never achieve. If you ask yourself, do I care? Do I care enough? And if you can say, yes, I care, you will get through. You will find a way. But if you say, I'm not sure I care, I would like to kind of give up, somebody else will fill the leadership place for you. And you will follow. And you will be angry because you never, ever achieved what you wanted to achieve because you didn't care enough. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do my little lecture now. I've kind of done part of it. I have a much bigger one to talk to you about people who care and important global leaders. I want to get to our activity. I want to start to really engage everybody today with this idea of who their choices are. So, first, could I ask the students who are sitting around the nucleus to come sit on the couches? Because I need to bring you in more so they can all hear you online, okay? Because it's just our microphone, the camera. And everybody in the cosmos, get ready for this. Okay, I'm going to try and engage you in live audio as much as possible. And I may even move the camera around. Delane, please stay on the notes, okay? Global leaders. Could you write down global leaders? Come on in, okay? Excellent. Let me put this over here. And I'm going to try something here. I'm kind of winging it right now, but it will work. Let's see how it looks. We'll just keep an eyeball because it might crash on YouTube. Oh, don't do that. Okay, it crashed in the back end, right? But it's not crashing on the front. No, that's Tor. There we are. We're back. Thank you, YouTube. Okay, so now let's see what we can do in terms of our activity today. And for all of you, where would you recommend I put the camera to get the best sort of view? Because I want us to have the microphone. Hold on a second. I'm going to get my little thing here. Here it is. Okay. I think I can figure this out. Okay. So we'll do something like this. Okay. And well, I'm not so sure that's going to quite work, but I want to make sure. Okay. So, Kensia, can you hear me clearly still on the microphone? Everything good?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to go around every student here, and I may even come in for the close up. Okay. And I want you to tell us who your choice is for a global leader. Okay. Somebody you feel really represents true global leadership. And as we do this in the nucleus, Delane is going to write down over here the. Delane's going to write down everything here, okay? And there's Delane, and you can see, and we even had that nice thumbnail of you in one of the classes we put up from a previous class. Okay, so great. Okay, so Delane's going to do the notes. Nice. So this is kind of working, and we'll leave this on the landscape. So you've all had a chance to think. If Kensia or Nathan, you can't hear anything really clearly, just jump on your microphone and say, I can't hear, okay? But I'm going to move around now. And I'm going to go clockwise. So I'm going to start with Kendra and then Melanie. Melanie, where's Lindsay? Lindsay's over here. Okay, so we'll get all the names. So let us, I'm going to be the documentary filmmaker that I used to be. You know, I have a crew and they'd come in and I'd be directing the camera and come in for the close up. So let's come and talk to Kendra for a moment. Okay, Kendra, your choice of global leader.
So I picked Danielle Boyer last week
Mhm.
due to the fact that she has impacted 800,000 kids' lives through her creation of the STEAM Connection program. She works in robotics and AI and is using it in an ethical way to revitalize Indigenous languages for youth.
Nice. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, I remember because I was at home at that time. Okay, so Danielle, or is it Daniel?
Danielle,
Danielle. So do you want to spell it for Delane?
LE after,
Yep.
and then BOYER.
And then in terms of just a brief title for her, Kendra, so we'll put it next to Danielle's because we're going to have a whole list of people. How would you describe her as a title? Danielle Boyer. What-
Is an Indigenous robotics leader.
Okay, great. Indigenous robotics leader. And, well, I have a little bit of news for you, everybody, about next week's class. Do you know who our guest in next week's class, our first guest this semester is going to be? Just next door, there's a lovely woman. Her name is Kayla Murphy. She's the director of the Indigenous Center, and she did her PhD on Indigenous leadership. And she's going to come and she's going to tell us some critical conclusions that she came to during her doctoral research on what we can learn from Indigenous communities around global leadership. So I think you're going to like that class.
I won't be here next week, but I'll be watching.
You watch the recording. Okay, great. Good. Thank you. So, Indigenous robotic leader, Danielle Boyer or Boyer?
Boyer.
Boyer. Okay, great. Okay, everybody. So keep going. And for those of you in the Cosmos, you can put your choices in the live chat and we'll come to them shortly, okay? But let's go over to Melanie, and I'm going to try and make sure we get our kind of proper close up here today. Okay, we can hear everybody. Okay, Melanie, your choice.
I picked Greta Thunberg. She's a young climate activist.
Yes.
And also advocates for human rights. She spoke at the United Nations before.
Yeah.
And she was recently involved with advocating for Gaza as well.
Okay, great. So, and spelling it is Greta. I think it is Greta, and I think it's Thunberg, GRETATHUNBERG. And Melanie, how would we describe her?
I would say a young, especially young climate activist.
Young climate activist? Okay. Thunberg, Greta Thunberg, it would be. Yeah, that's right. THUNBERG, I think it
Yeah.
is, Greta Thunberg.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
THUENBERG. Thunberg. Excellent. Okay.
And the I is an E in Greta.
Oh, it's an E. Yeah, and it's an E
Yeah.
instead of an I. Okay. In that part, in the first name. Okay. Great, everybody. This is working, I think, and we're going to get a good recording for all those asynchronous students. Okay, next, I'm going to move over here. What's your name again?
Ria.
Ria Patel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ria, it's okay. I'll come over here. I should have a mask, but I'll kind of keep my distance. I'm okay. Ria, who would be your choice for global leader?
So I chose Team Berners-Lee as we talked about him a lot in our class. So I feel like he made the World Wide Web and
Yeah.
he made available to all of us, and he created a new way like to connect the people around the world.
Yes.
And then now like he's concerned about it as well, like how people are misusing it. So
Yes.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So I'm glad you picked somebody as well who is a person we've covered in class, but it doesn't need to be. Okay. But it's a great example. Okay. And Tim Berners-Lee, we are all familiar with right now. You should be from the material we've covered in the class. So that's Ria's choice, Tim Berners-Lee. And let's remember that when we choose that one person at the end of today's class, this is a person we're going to be exploring even more through the semester. So we will see with Tim Berners-Lee where he actually ends up. And it's Tim Berners, Tim Berners, and there's no dash between Tim and Berners, but there is between Berners and Lee. Okay? Yeah, good. I'll help with the spelling. Don't worry. I'm a longtime journalist and writer for magazines and newspapers, and spelling and words are very important to me. Okay, the details matter. So Tim Berners, and it would be it's Bern, not Burn. Excellent. Okay, great, nice. Thanks, Ria. Okay, so it's
Waleed.
Waleed. Yeah, Waleed. Okay, so Waleed, your choice.
My choice was as global leader was I picked Stephen Hawking.
Very good. How many of you know Stephen Hawking, the name Stephen Hawking? Excellent. Okay. So there's so much we can say about Stephen Hawking. But first, let's get his name on the list. Okay. Number 4, Stephen Hawking. Why would you pick him as a global leader?
Well, because he influenced many people with his space talks as an astrophysicist, and he showed resiliency and perseverance because he had a major disability.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it never stopped him from being a leader and influencing many.
That's
He
right.
proved that you do not have to be perfect in order to be a leader.
Oh, and what helped him to be a leader in terms of some kind of human invention? What was it that really helped him to communicate?
A computer that
Yeah.
helped him.
So we can say, in spite of all that we've kind of criticized so far around chat GPT, artificial intelligence, it should never be in this class that technology is a dangerous force or it's how we use tech that's always going to matter. How brilliantly tech was used in Stephen Hawking's life in order for him to continue to communicate with people from his wheelchair. He was a quadriplegic, right? I mean, he couldn't move anything except his brain, his thoughts, essentially. And so the computer was able to speak for him and provide his knowledge to the world. So Stephen Hawking, and I can help you with that actually, Delane, in terms of the spelling. I'm pretty sure Stephen is Stephen, Stephen Hawking, and then Hawking, and he would be, we'll call him a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay? A scientist. Great example, Waleed. Anything else you want to say about him? No? Okay. Good. Wow. Imagine again as yes.
He also made various TV appearances.
Yeah, he was definitely well known, but he became so associated with the sound of that computer,
Yeah.
right? And he would just be sitting there, expressionless, and yet his brain was working very, very well. Okay, here we go. Thanks, Wally. Stephen Hawking, Hawking. Okay, Hawking. Nice. All right, here we go. What's your name?
Shukuru. Shukuru.
Sukuru. Oh, Sukuru, of course. Sukuru, your choice for a global leader.
I think for me it's Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, for sure. He's always on the list, okay? And I'm going to be talking about somebody like Nelson Mandela today that you may never have met. And I think we're all familiar with Nelson Mandela. Okay, so how would we describe Nelson Mandela as?
I think like he fought for the peace and like justice among people and equality.
Why do we call him a fighter for justice? A fighter for justice. Okay, a fighter for justice. We might even call him a warrior too. Do you know that Nelson Mandela was a boxer before he became active in politics? He was a big man, over 6 feet, and helped him to survive 27 years in prison or so. Okay, thanks a lot. Nelson Mandela for sure. Okay, we're going to keep going here. We've got 3 more, and we'll get Delane as well. So, what's your name again?
It's Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, Ryan, go ahead.
So the person I picked today was Elon Musk.
Okay, Elon Musk for sure.
Yeah, it's due to how he's his vision, how he's trying to push the technology. He's
Yeah.
it's with for example with SpaceX. How
Yes.
he's trying to push, trying to explore
Oh yeah.
outside of space. I mean space outside
For sure.
outside of
Sure.
Earth. Yeah, and how would how can I describe him? Visionary, charismatic.
Yes.
I would
yes.
say transformational global leader, and
Hmm.
and yeah, and then for the type of that I should describe, I don't know how can I describe him?
Well, why don't we call him for now? I would say he's an engineer.
An engineer.
He's
Yeah,
a brilliant engineer.
very brilliant. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Mm.
We could look more closely at some of the things he said that might make us wonder about him as a person. And it should be said, but we don't know for certain if he really meant this, that he did stand on stage while he was raising money for Donald Trump. And in a moment of great enthusiasm, he raised his hand in the air in a very clear Nazi salute.
Also, one more thing.
So that's, I mean, we'll get to that, okay? But that's not just an Elon Musk. It's a question of when people become billionaires and influential, they sometimes veer into fascism. But anyways,
Also, one more thing I want to ask. I like how he's a risk taker. We
Yes.
get to see his failures. We all get to see it. He tries, he fails, and we all get to see it until he eventually succeeds. So that's also something
Yep.
that's very admirable.
Okay.
People often think that failure is not okay. You have to succeed at all costs, but obviously
Yes.
you have to fail in order to
Yeah.
be able to succeed. And we see it very well with
Yeah.
Musk.
That's a very good point about leadership,
Mhm.
that you need your failures because that actually toughens you and gets you ready to deal with the stresses of success. Success can be very stressful. To be on top, you gotta be strong.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also I think it's very brave because people are scared to see you down, and then
Yeah.
he doesn't care. He doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Elon Musk. Okay. Delane, Elon, and then Musk, engineer. Nice. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going. And this seems to be working here. And so, name?
My name is Darrell.
Darrell. Oh, you're Darrell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Darrell, go ahead.
Well-
So, your choice.
Yeah. Well, the person I chose today is Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting choice. Now, why would you choose Adam Silver?
Because he's pushing the game globally. Like he created basketball without borders in Africa, and he's expanding the game globally.
Yeah.
He's always fighting for like any injustice or anything like that. Like the owner of the Clippers, the racist remarks, he somehow got him out of
Yes,
to sell
yes,
the team.
yes,
So
yes.
I just feel
For
like
his racist or kind of comments, and
yeah.
or we should say intolerant. Yeah. Huh. That's a really interesting choice. It hasn't come up in other classes, either in previous global leader classes. Are all of you familiar with Adam Silver? And do you want and it's Darrell to explain a little bit more? Are you clear? He's the commissioner of the National Basketball Association. Tall guy, bald. Okay, great.
Mhm.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, good. All right, everybody, great. So Lindsay, finally, and then we'll come to Delane, okay, for her choice. Oops, sorry about that. So Lindsay, please go ahead.
My pick is Malala Yousafzai.
Yeah, right. Okay,
She's an educational activist from Pakistan.
yeah, we'll get the correct spelling. And what is the story of Malala, that is so important for us in terms of global leadership?
She was shot by the Taliban when she was young. And since getting out of Pakistan, she's been fighting for children's education, especially young girls.
Yes. And also, did Malala, after she recovered from being shot in the head, was it in
Yeah,
the back
face.
of a bus? Oh, her face.
Yeah, it like went through and then like just missed her brain or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So after she did that, or after she got was able to get through that, did she go back to school?
Yes.
And did she get a pretty impressive degree for herself in school?
She's won the Nobel Peace Prize as well, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that she um
Yeah. So she actually believes a lot in education, the
yeah.
power of education, and that has been very important for her in showing others what they can do if they get an education.
Yeah, definitely, especially young girls, and I think that's why it like resonates with me because obviously like growing up she was a figure that was taught to me for to show us kind of the privilege that we have in the country that
Yes,
we're living
yes.
in and that around the world women do not have a lot of rights.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I think also because she's so young, I'm pretty sure she's like 28 or something like that around
Still
there.
in her 20s.
So she's like this big like activist that everybody knows and she's very successful and she's still
Yes.
so young is really impressive.
Great, Lindsay. Okay, let's make sure we get the correct spelling there for Malala. Okay, and then her last name, we'll get it. That's okay. I'm going to come over to Delane now because I think Delane has put her choice up there too. So, okay, thank you, Lindsay. Okay, last, yeah, go ahead, and I'll capture this moment. This here's the moment when let's see. Good. Okay. Nice. Okay. So beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
One student teaching another. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, we're going to stay over here finally for Delane's choice after she writes down Malala, educational activist. Okay, nice. Good. And is that your choice? I think here? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so go ahead and tell us. Okay, who is this person?
So this is Mrs. Ibukon Awosika. Let me say it correctly.
Okay, and who is?
She's a Nigerian businesswoman, and she was like appointed as the first chairman, female chairman in Nigeria for the First Bank. First Bank is like a global bank in
Yes.
Nigeria and in I think it's the eastern part of Africa.
In the eastern part of Africa, the continent of Africa? Sure.
So she's also the founder of her own company, like a company that does in furniture and I think security things.
Okay, good.
And like for her impact globally, like she's the president of she has a, how would I say that? She has a, how did they call it?
She,
She has like I would say like a conference, like
Yes.
always do, like to support other African business people like outside of the
Mm.
world, and she hosts that in Dubai.
So she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Would you describe her as a businesswoman or an economist
Yes,
too?
and she's also like bringing others like to grow like in business.
Right.
And
Okay.
she's also promoting values like ethical and being integrity, like
Yes. Yes.
as core values, like
Okay.
global leaders.
Okay. Well, since you have the final choice and you've got a full card, go ahead and write as much as you want about her there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and well, we have those who are online.
And we have that.
Those who are online, I have to write theirs too.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you. That is a student who is right plugged in. She's telling me, reminding me what to do, and she's right. So that's great. Okay, so let's make sure that the others online as well are going to give that, and we're going to do it quickly, okay, because we have to vote. And I have a way to vote today that's going to work. Let me just check battery power here. How are we doing? We're going to be okay. Okay, good. So I'll be able to get by, get rid of that little window. All right. Thank you all in the nucleus, from Kendra to Lindsay, Shakuru, Waleed, Darrell, and Ria, Melanie, and finally it's Ryan. Ryan, okay, and Delane. Good, I've got it in my head. For being patient and for allowing us to use this workaround to actually do something I kind of like, which is come around and talk to you all. It's going to look great for the asynchronous students, the recording, but most importantly, it gives all of us a chance to interact. So, Delane was right. We haven't finished the list. And for all of you in the cosmos right now, if you do not jump onto your microphone the way Kensia and Nathan have done, you will not receive 5 out of 5. It'll be lower. So I'm going to start with Kensia, then go to Nathan and the others. So Kensia, very briefly, tell us your choice. Go ahead.
My choice was Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you want to go back to Nelson Mandela and just put a little star beside him as a second choice? Okay, you can put Nelson Mandela star. Okay, good, Kensia. All right, Nathan,
Hello.
your
Hello.
choice.
You hearing me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're
Oh,
good.
okay. Okay. Perfect. So mine's a bit modern. It's Mark Carney right now.
Mark Carney. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Our prime, and we
Um.
already covered him in the
Yeah.
previous class with his really important speech. But go ahead. Is it because of that speech, or is there something
Definitely
else?
that speech. How he got all the other countries to he basically pulled them to our side, right?
Yes.
Against the US. That's really good leadership technique to me to persuade the others.
Yes.
He definitely stood up for he's definitely putting electric mandates or more electric vehicles here. But not only importing it, he's trying to build it here, which also helped the
That's right.
Oshawa Center at GM. That's very good leadership to me.
Yep.
He just basically put this country first, and that's a good leader to me. That's a really good leader, a modern leader.
Excellent choice. So Canadian Prime Minister. Okay, Canadian. And I like what you've said, which is you've actually given a very good explanation about this idea of to be local. Just behind me, you will see that. And that is something that you will see every time you land on the DC Connect content page. You will see this, to be local. And Nathan has mentioned about Mark Carney's local influence as well as global influence. So keep in mind, as we go through these choices today and you're voting, does the choice that you vote on in the end meet this critical quality of localness, global and local influence at the same time? Probably they do, but it's important for you to think about this, okay? Being a good global leader is not about being in one part of the world and affecting the rest of the world. It's affecting your community plus the rest of the world. Make sense? Very, very important. Nelson Mandela, of course, is a shining example of that in terms of what he did in South Africa, but then what his commitment and courage meant to the rest of the world, and has been celebrated, rightly so. Great. Okay. So who else is prepared? Only those who are prepared to jump on their microphones will get their choice on the list. Otherwise, we can save the live chat as a resource, but everything today is live in terms of audio, definitely. So anybody else in the
Can I
cosmos?
go?
Who's that?
Trevor.
Trevor, you can absolutely go. Go ahead.
Okay, so my choice is his name is Najib Bukele. He's the current president of El Salvador. The
Huh?
reason why I picked him because he's improved El Salvador so much. Like the country's very secured. The economy's growing even more. Like
Yes.
the most important part, in my opinion, because I used to go to El Salvador like before he was like president, and like
Yes.
you can tell a lot of difference when like how much he changed the country. So that's why he's my choice.
Excellent. Well, we're getting some really nice moment here. And this again is a demonstration of leadership when you take initiative. Kendra has stood up, walked over, and given Delane the correct spelling of Najib Bukele's name. Yeah. President of El Salvador?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Thanks. Really nice when I see this. I know not everybody can do that or wants to do that, but this is a leadership class in the sense of learning about others, but also demonstrating your own leadership qualities. So for people to stand up and do things without being told, that's leadership. For Delane to be reminding me, that's leadership. But I know that in a traditional classroom, you may think you shouldn't tell the professor anything that might be perceived as critical. Well, that's not my classroom. It's the opposite, okay? But you may be used to deferring to your professor for everything. And that's when you're a child in elementary school. This is grown-up time now, okay? And so just want to point out that these are absolute examples of leadership. You take the initiative, you think for yourself, and you see if a situation needs something, you don't ask, you just go and do. You just go and do. You don't ask for permission. Great. Okay, good. Trevor, who else? Anybody else in the cosmos?
Ebo, can I go?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're all getting your fives. Abo, go ahead.
I chose Alex Hormozy.
Alex Home. Can you spell that for us, please?
Alex and then Hormozi.
Huh. And who is Alex Hermosi?
The reason I chose him is because his influence is far beyond entrepreneurship.
Yes.
He touches more on leadership, education, philanthropy, and the global business culture. And
Is it Fornosy or Hormozy?
Hormozi, H
It's
O
an
R M O
M.
Z
Yeah,
I.
yeah, good. So where is he from?
He's from the United States. He's an entrepreneur,
He's an
and
entrepreneur.
his leadership style is grounded in clarity, in discipline, and in value creation. Unlike many other business influencers who rely on hype, he focuses more on principles and strategies that are repeatable and scalable.
Great. Okay, we'll call him an entrepreneur. Alex
He's an
Hormozy.
entrepreneur, yes.
Excellent. Do we know if he was born in the United States or born somewhere else?
I think he was born in the United States, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Once upon a time, not too long ago, the Statue of Liberty in the harbor of New York drew immigrants from all over the world, and it was the beacon. Now Look at what the United States has become. So depressing. Oh, someone should take the Statue of Liberty down, maybe throw it into the New York Harbor. Well, we won't get into that. Once upon a time, the United States was a global leader for people all over the world. Now it's just the white man's land. And all those people of color and others who maybe want to be white too. What happened to diversity? Come to Canada. Anyways, it's so easy to get angry about the United States and be outraged. I'm not going to do that. A good leader goes high, stays above. Imagine Mark Carney, our prime minister, having to deal with Donald Trump day after day on the telephone, and Donald Trump tweeting things at 2 a.m. on his social media. And Mark Carney can still stand up in front of the cameras and be calm. Wow. Okay. Yes.
Basically, for America, the history for it has repeated itself.
What's that, Waleed?
Basically, for the U.S., history has repeated itself.
How has history repeated itself?
Because they've done similar practices in the past.
You're not wrong. But something's different at this moment.
Is slavery. Other than that,
Mm. Do you know, I want to point you to an incredible historical moment that you may have all overlooked. And that is in 2001, not on September the 11th, when the World Trade Center and other buildings were brought down by fanatical political extremists, terrorists. Actually, there was another terrorist earlier that year, that summer, who was executed in the United States. And this is a fascinating story because it tells you something about history repeating itself. It tells you something about the direction the great United States is going. And it tells you something about our future, maybe. Are any of you familiar with a person named Timothy McVeigh? Are any of you familiar with an incident that took place in the 1990s in the United States called the Oklahoma City bombings? Well, let me just tell you something. If ever you want to think about history repeating itself, but in more graphic ways, the worst terrorist incident on United States soil of domestic terrorism was when, in the early 1990s, a young white supremacist in the United States, today what we would call a very ardent Trump supporter, in the city of Oklahoma, parked a truck in front of a government building, a federal building, with a bomb. The bomb exploded. It was his protest against too much government, the direction that the United States was going, too many immigrants. Something's got to change. The bomb destroyed 2/3 of the building. Something like 84 cars were completely destroyed in the area, 300 buildings. Do you know how many people were killed? Well, 300. Not to mention the injured. This person, I think it was on June the 11th, 2001, was executed for his crimes. And you know what? He never expressed a single ounce of remorse. He was angry at the government. He decided that what he would do is he would destroy the government. Wasn't that long ago that Trump and his supporters attacked the government building in the United States, went into the building, killed people, and even defecated on the tables of some of the politicians in protest. I wonder if Waleed may not be so wrong, that what we're seeing is a different kind of thing happening in the United States today, which is it's a destruction of that nation by its own people because of its fear of the rest of the world taking over somehow. And once upon a time, they wanted the rest of the world. They built that country with the rest of the world. And now, no way. So, leadership today is something so complicated when we come to the idea of leadership politically, leadership personally. But in the end, I want us to reflect for a moment on something Waleed said about history repeating itself, on the fact that we may be living in a time when the global leader of the world, at least in terms of freedom and justice and liberty, is no more. It's changing. And we have new leaders that are going to emerge that will be important, maybe among this class, maybe among the cosmos. So I think we are, I hope, ready to do a little bit of voting right now, okay? And we're going to stop for a moment with, is it Ebo or Ebbet? Is it Ebo, did you say? Can't remember. Ebbet? Is that how you pronounce your name? Okay. He may have just stepped away from the microphone for a moment, but here's what I'd like all of you to do. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to do a little vote. And what we're going to do is I'm going to read out loud, or in fact, we might even have Delane read out loud the choices. And I'd like you to listen as she reads them and reviews briefly. You're going to have a chance to pick one. And when that person's name is read out loud after the review, whoever you pick, start clapping. So you're gonna pick yours, whoever you think would be the perfect global leader to explore more in this class, you're gonna clap. But you can only get to clap for one person. And if you believe in your heart of hearts that the person you chose is the one who should be clapped for, fair enough. But please take a moment when you do that and ask yourself, am I kind of showing my true colors now by just voting for my person? Have I really thought about the others and been fair? Or did I just do what we seem to be seeing more and more of today, particularly in the United States, which is you only care about yourself? Who gives a damn about anybody else? Okay, so Delane, go ahead and could you read out loud as best you can the choices on the smartboard that you wrote down, starting with number one? Yeah, just read them out loud. What's there?
Our first leader, we have Daniel Boyle, an indigenous robotic leader.
Yep.
Our second, we have Greta Thunberg, a young climate activist. We have Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web.
Go on. Keep going. It's all right.
4, Stephen Hawking, a scientist. 5, Nelson Mandela, fighter for justice. 6, Elon Musk, engineer. 7, Adam Silver.
Yeah, NBA commissioner, basketball commissioner. Yeah.
8, Malala Yousafzai,
Educational activist. Yeah.
activist.
Good.
9, Ibukun Awosika,
Yeah.
business and economics leader. 10, Mark Carney, Canadian Prime Minister. 11, Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador. 12, Alex Hormozy, entrepreneur.
Very good. And with some cleverness, Delane had 13 written down, but nobody's written there. So that means we didn't put a number 13 out of cleverness. We don't want bad luck, do we, in this Come on, good line. Okay, so once again, Danielle Boyer, Indigenous robotic leader, Greta Thunberg, climate activist, Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web, Stephen Hawking, scientist, Nelson Mandela, fighter for justice, Elon Musk, engineer, Adam Silver, NBA commissioner, Malala Yousafzai, I always pronounce her name, Yousafzai, educational activist. And then, oh, wow, Delaine's going to have to help me with this. Ibukan Awuski. Awuska? Awuska, okay. Mark Carney, Canadian Prime Minister. Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador. And Alex Hormozy, entrepreneur. Okay, everybody. So here it comes. You probably have an idea of who you want to vote for. So I would like to do this. We will go through each name and you have a chance to clap for only one person. And for those of you online, please put a digital hand as a clap there so I know when you're clapping, okay? And the person who gets the loudest clap wins. So here we go. Number 1, Danielle Boyer. Is there a clap? Well, now, here we have Kendra not voting for her choice. She's made a decision. Very interesting. Nobody has done Daniel Boyer. Could you just draw a line through? Don't erase Daniel Boyer. Just draw a line through Daniel Boyer. Number 2, Greta Thunberg, climate activist. Lindsay, 1, leave it there for now. I have a feeling she's going to get a strike through as well. We shall see. Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web. That's okay. We've covered him a lot already. 2 classes. Secretly, I was hoping I wouldn't hear anything because we need more people, more leaders in this class, okay? You all understand Tim Berners-Lee and what he's done now. Stephen Hawking, scientist. Oh, you're all thinking. This is good. This tells me that you're holding your vote because you've made a decision. So Stephen Hawking, we can put a line through him, strike through anything in the digital hand category. Online, excuse me. Nelson Mandela. Let's put a line through that. Nelson Mandela. And you know what? As much as I strike it through. Oh, do you see online? Okay. Very good. You're on top of it, Delane. You saw it. Did you see it up there?
No, somebody else.
Oh, it's because, yes, but now is the voting. So that's different. Strike it through. Done. Can I say again, as much as we all deeply respect Nelson Mandela, it's a bit old. Bit old. I had to say to a student in a first assignment who gave an example recently of a really good global leader that Abraham Lincoln is way too old. Okay, so, all right. Elon Musk, engineer. Nope. Strike through. Getting down to close and only 1 clap so far from Lindsay. So something's going to happen here. Adam Silver, NBA commissioner. No. May I just add a slightly personal note? I didn't want to say this before about Adam Silver to prejudice in any way or direct you. I think it's fascinating. Adam Silver is Jewish. And yet, look at his commitment to people, all religions, all persuasions, Black, Mexican, Asian, Look at that level of diversity and respect. It's a great choice. I probably would have picked Adam Silver. Did you know that? Okay. Malala. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Delane. So Malala is in the running right now. Okay. Malala is definitely in the running, but we can strike through Greta. Greta, because there were 3 claps going here. There was Ria, right? Is Ria? And there was also Melanie. Okay. And there was Delane too. So now Malala is, we have 4 minutes left. Ibukan Awoska. Mark Carney. 2. Right? No. Strike it through. 3 for Malala, 2 for Carney. Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador. Can I hear that again? Kendra, Ryan, and Shakuru. So we've got, and then I have a feeling Alex Hormozy is not going to get much just because we don't know enough about him. So strike it through. We have a tie.
Wait, one question.
Yes.
I clap my hands on my
Did you
phone.
vote?
Yeah, I vote online.
And who's that?
Trevor?
Trevor, who did you vote for?
UCLA.
For Bukele?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. That's okay. Trevor voted for his own choice, and that's fine. It still counts. We might have a winner. And what I like more than anything is Trevor is listening. And he jumped in, he gave his vote. He deserves to be heard hugely. So, do we have a winner here? I think, unless we're missing something in the cosmos, Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, I think it's a fabulous choice. And you know why? We have a lot to learn about this person. What we're going to do, not next week, but in the following week. Next week, we have Kayla Murphy from the Indigenous Center coming over. But the following week, we're going to do a case study. We're going to spend a whole class on why that person, Nayib Bukele, has been chosen by us. And we're going to have to come up with examples, really clear examples of what is so instructive about that choice. But I want to commend you all, Kendra especially, and the others who chose their other choices and were prepared to do that. I think Melanie, too. No, you voted Malala? Yeah. So who did in the end Bukele? It was Kendra, Shakuru, Ryan. Oh no, Darrell, Ryan, and then finally Trevor. Get ready for a class in 2 weeks where I'm really going to drill down on Bukele and understand what makes this choice such an important one for our class. I think we're done. I never gave my lecture. I had to blow it off because I could see time and the way things were working. That's okay. All that matters is that when you walk out of here, we've had a complete class and you feel like it was worth your time, worth coming to the college, getting on the subway or the bus or the street. Or now I'm showing my Torontonianness. You came all this way for a class today. I hope I made it worth your while. So everybody, any questions? Anything you need to know? Delane, leave everybody up there. Kendra, please.
My question is, can we go over the word count for the assignment?
By 50 words, I'll give you a little wiggle room. Okay, you can go up to 800. Yeah. It's always hard to write less. You know, that's when you have to make choices. But I have done something this semester with the discussion posts. You may have noticed already, is that I have been letting students go up to 300 words or so on the discussion posts and beyond when I can see that they really are wanting to write something. And there had been some very good discussion posts, and I was planning on reading some of them out loud today in the review section, but didn't have a chance. So remember, you have a 5th discussion post due next week. Same routine, go to the discussion board. You all just have questions to do. That's it. Delane has her 5. All of those who were on their microphones got their 5s. What else? Are we done? Anything you need to know? Waleed?
You said the case study is in 2 weeks, right?
Yes. 2 weeks.
Is that before reading it or is that after?
Just before reading week. I think because we're in week 5. Week 6 is next week with Indigenous. Week 7 will be the case study, and then you're on your break. And you get a midterm that reading week. Okay. And your midterm will be based on your first assignment and actually 6 discussion posts. The 7th one, I give everybody a 5 out of 5 because you will be on holiday or break when it should be submitted. So I just give you the 5. Okay. 6 discussion posts. That's 32.5% or so of your final grade is going to be shown in that midterm. Great. Okay, I better end. You can come talk to me if you want. Okay, Wally. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good week. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a nice day.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This all worked today incredibly. Let me bring this over here. And I'll have to save the live chat after, but let me cut the microphone so we can speak to